हरे कृष्णा। आज का टॉपिक हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं ग्रीड। तो पहले भगवद गीता का श्लोक समझते हैं, उस श्लोक के बाद जानते हैं कि ग्रीड क्या है, व्हाट इज ग्रीड एंड हाउ इट रिएक्ट्स इन आवर लाइफ, एंड ग्रीड हमें कहाँ ले जाती है, हमारे लिए क्या करती है, और ग्रीड से निकलने का रास्ता क्या है। तो ये भगवद गीता का बड़ा फेमस श्लोक है, 16.21। त्रिविधम नरकस्य इदम द्वारम नाशन आत्मना कामा क्रोध तथा लोभ तदम एतत् त्रयम त्यजेत। इस श्लोक का मतलब क्या है? देयर आर 3 gates to hell: एंगर, लस्ट, ग्रीड। नरक के 3 द्वार है, एंगर, लस्ट एंड ग्रीड। ग्रीड क्या है? ग्रीड इज एन, if we talk it in English, is an avarice, which means you require more. For example, I give you an ice cream and you like it, then you want to have it more. You're not satisfied what I've given you, so you want to enjoy more ice creams. If you have a power, you want to have a more power. If you have a wealth, you require more wealth. You don't have a contentment, संतोष नहीं है लाइफ के, वो ग्रीड है. So is a very beautiful synonym word, avarice. So is a, if we talk in an English phrase for the greed, is an insatiable appetite, is a quench for thirst, which does not allow you to settle for a less, which does not allow you to look around you what you have in your hand. For example, the God has given you a beautiful face, but the God has not given you intellectual powers. You are not bright enough. So in the class, you come, you does not achieve very good grades in your class, but you have a very beautiful face. So you are always looking for an intellectual proprietary. You're not satisfied that you have been provided with a beautiful face. So what you have, you're not satisfied with that. So same thing, Bhagavatam continues. It tells that greed is something which destroys you, which takes you close towards your diminishing of your identity. It does not help you to see yourself in the mirror as a heat soul, as a human being. You identify yourself as a body. You see yourself looking after a temporary pleasures. So temporary pleasures can be like eating an ice cream. So it stimulates your hormones for how many seconds when you eat an ice cream? Tell me. How many seconds?
3 seconds, 4 seconds.
Okay. That out. Like, I was just selling a mango shake few days back, and it was really wonderful. So I really felt that it is giving me a pleasure like the pleasure I am receiving in the chanting. But that pleasure was just for the 10 seconds. Because while having a mango shake, I am having a pleasure for 10 seconds. But chanting gives me pleasure for entire day, because I do chanting for 2 hours. So I get pleasure in those 2 hours. And sometimes that 2 hours reflects their power in the entire day also. What happens? Like something bad happened in your life and you have been saved by the Lord. So then you will realize that you have did your chanting well today. That's why the Lord saved you. This is what the reason. So you relish the power of chanting. So this is how the chanting relish the entire day. But these pleasures relish only for some time. The bigger the pleasure is, the bigger the reward is, the bigger the pleasure will be. If you buy a new house, you feel a pleasure for 2-3 years. Because you feel that the environment is good, it's a better location, the greenery is good, but you won't have an inner satisfaction because you don't have a higher goal. So greed is something which does not allow you to see beyond yourself. For example, if you buy 2 sarees, you want to have a 10 more sarees. Yellow color, green color, red color, white color. Then with jhalar one, then with butterfly on that. There's so many things. There's one politician in Tamil Nadu she has one house of saris and 5 almiras of sandals. Jayalalitha. So, like, you cannot become satisfied. I'm not talking that she was not a good lady. I'm just talking that you can have so many things in your life and still you cannot be satisfied. So, greed cannot be conquered. It cannot be cut down. How we can overcome greed? There's only 4 or 5 steps. Now you can note down. Like, how we can overcome greed. First, we need to practice detachment. I talked in my last video from the Bhagavad Gita 2.62 show, which is a very famous show. Dhyayatum Vishyam Punsa. Whenever you will attach yourself with some topic and you ponder and think over again and again on the same topic, you will develop the desire to achieve that. And if your desire is not fulfilled, then you will have irritation. Then you will have a frustration. Then you will have a anger. And then you will have a more. Your mind will be lost. Your intellectual will be dull. Because you are thinking over of a topic again and again. In the youth age, for example, I take example, like you have a boyfriend or you have a girlfriend. So think over a boyfriend and girlfriend on a continuous basis. What happened? You just forget what to do next. Life looks very rosy. And if someone leaves you, your heart breaks. So then again you think over again and again. So you become more anger. You have a more irritation and a frustration. Lot of youth go into a depression. They start taking pills for the antipsychotic pills to control their mind so that they come out of the depression. This is a very small thing. See, Krishna has taken away the business of a Prabhupada. The entire business of the burned away. But he remained calm. How you can achieve that? Only when you practice detachment. When you're not attached towards the goal. Same shlok has been repeated in the 2.47. Karmanne vadikarasya ma phaleshu kadachan. You're not attached towards the goal. You're not attached towards the topic. You do your work. You do your work and let the results depend upon the universe or the God. Whatever it comes. Then we practice contentment. In Hindi, santosh. If you have something, enjoy it. Work hard. There is a rule. Like if you want to achieve something, for example, you have a beautiful face and you want to achieve intellectual powers, work for 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours is something like 5 hours a day and 5 hours a day and for 5 years you have to practice. Then you can achieve intellectual powers. The same, the Beatles brand, they practiced for 10 years and they became Beatles. The world famous rock band, Beatles. Michael Phelps, he practiced swimming for 12 hours a day and then he became a Michael Phelps. This is what happened. You have to practice contentment, santosh. Then what is the third point? You have to develop knowledge. Knowledge can only be acquired from the Shastras, from the Upanishads. What we acquire from the textbooks or from the world or from the Google is not knowledge, it is an information. Because real knowledge is something which takes you beyond yourself. Because you are not a body, you are a soul. See, we require food for just the maintenance of this body. We don't require food for the soul. Soul only requires love. And love can be only acquired through chanting. That is okay. The third point is knowledge. We have to acquire the knowledge. The fourth is we have to practice devotion. Why devotion? Can anyone answer in this class? Why devotion? How devotion can take out us from the greed?
Maybe it can help us from detachment.
No.
प्रभु जी ने कहा हमारा गोल चेंज हो जाएगा.
A kind of something.
Higher purpose.
So, what devotion do I tell you? Devotion is a reflection of a love. Because you're repeating of a name of a person whom you don't know. And if, for example, I repeat a name of a someone I like, so then you will be always after being, na? For example, your mother repeats your name. Neha, come. Neha, do this. Neha, do this. Neha, do that. Mimasa comes. Arpit, come. So if someone is repeating your name entire day, you will feel very pampered that this person care for me. But what happened? So similarly, we are repeating the name of a Krishna, Ram and Radha and Sita. So these are the names of the Lord. So we are reflecting our powers, our inner self, our total consciousness towards the name of the Lord, out of the love. Right now we don't have a love, but when we repeat these names will attract the attachment, and we will acquire some kind of attachment and a love towards these names, and these names will reflect as a love towards ourselves. So we will acquire a kind of a detachment. So we will able to observe that impermanence in our self. Temporariness, the temporary what we हिंदी में अगर हम बात करें कि जैसे हमें विश्वास होने लगता है ना कि मैं शरीर हूं, हम उससे बाहर आ जाएंगे. हमें फील होने लगेगा कि मैं शरीर नहीं, क्योंकि उस नाम के साथ नाम का आदान प्रदान प्रेम चेंज होने लगेगा. एंड द लास्ट थिंग, चैरिटी, दान. When you give to others, then whatever attachment you have, you lose that. For example, you have a very much attachment towards your golden color t-shirt, and if she comes and she asks for that t-shirt, and if you're able to give, then you lose your attachment. Difficult to give, no? Difficult to give. If your attachment towards money, and if you give your money, so then you are giving your something very close to you to someone else, then you're losing that. So these are the 5 steps we can come out of the grief. Thank you for listening to me. Hare Krishna.